This one plugin has everything you need to make crazy vintage melodies. Again, the textures are just crazy. And this doesn't even sound like the guitar at this point. The plugin we're using is called Scorch, and it's been specifically designed for rap and R&B production. When you open it up, as you can see, it's a really easy to use interface. At the top, we have a sound and chord selector with a pan knob and a volume knob as well. In the middle, we have this big button, which does a lot of crazy stuff that I'm going to talk to you about later. There's also a glide knob, a mono and poly button, and there's also an effects button to take you to the effects section. And finally, at the bottom, we have an ADSR, a panic button, which when you press it, it cuts the sound out. And also we have the keyboard. Now I'm going to cover the most important part, the sounds. So if we click sounds up here, there's 8 different categories. We've got combination, pianos and keys, synth pads. Let's take the keys preset we used and open up the effects and start messing around with it a little bit. So we'll start over here with the filter. Obviously, if you click this to turn it on, we've got a low pass, high pass, and a band pass. We've got the cutoff down here and then the resonance as well. What makes this filter really interesting is we've got an LFO attached to it. So if we turn it on, we can tempo sync it as well, turn up the depth a bit, and we can choose the different waveform that we want it to replicate. So for almost like a side chaining effect, if we select the saw, instantly we've got a different sound, something a bit more bouncy. Next we have a delay. It's pretty simple, self-explanatory. We've got the dry wet, the feedback, and the decay time. And finally we have the coolest part of the effects section, is the granulizer over here. So if I turn it on, we've got all these different settings. Now really, I find the best way to work with it is just mess around with the different knobs, try stuff out, and eventually you'll figure something out that sounds good. So turning it with the speed all the way down, it kind of gives it like a plucky kind of sound. Whereas when we turn it up, more of a pad, pulsating kind of feel to it. If we turn this up an octave, that's a really nice texture that we can add on top of our samples. It almost sounds like it's been run through some pedals. And finally, we're going to talk about the main part of this VST, which is this button in the middle. I've got this guitar preset pulled up called 2 Guitars. Let's just give it a listen. That's a really nice sound as it is. It's got nice texture. It sounds like a really real guitar. But when we turn this and play it, you're going to hear something completely different. The texture in the background is crazy. Super detuned. Again, the textures are just crazy. And this doesn't even sound like the guitar at this point. With each sound that you select, it's going to have 10 different effects chains using this button. I really like this sound, so what I'm going to do is get rid of this chord progression. We're going to start a sample from scratch. I'm also adding a rum, which is a nice room reverb. There's a preset in the dark section called Techie. I'm also going to throw on a portal to this just for a little bit of texture. And then let's record this into Edison. And I'm just going to lower the sample rate to, let's go for 8,000. Now I've got another Scorch open. I think we're going to go for some keys this time. See, that's the first preset that I chose and it sounds fire. I really want that guitar to be a bit less in your face, so I'm going to add Shaper Box 3 to this. That's nice. Slight variety on the sidechain as opposed to just a standard set pace. And I think we're going to layer those keys with a nice synth pad. That's nice. The texture on that's so crazy. Reverse it and chop it where the chords are. So boom, 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 boom. We drag it so it's all lined up with the original chord progression. Let's just have this come in. Something like this. So what I'm also going to do is click stretch and then just make these double speed. Let's do a high cut. Let's try this one maybe. And let's add a Shaper Box 3. I'm just going to sidechain it. Let's do half notes. So I've got another Scorch open, and what I'm going to do this time is add a bass. Let's go with the Tiller bass, just like that. Let's just copy and paste that across. I just changed the main sound to a different key sound, more of a piano as opposed to like a Rhodes. And for the bass, I'm going to take out these notes. I don't think they're necessarily needed. That piano sound is so clean. Yeah, that's so much better. Nice and simple. Now let's add some counter melodies, textures, stuff like that. So maybe another guitar. I like the melody a lot. I'm not too keen on the sound. We'll just mess around with it a little bit in here. Ooh, that's nice. I like that. So we're going to record this and I want to lower the sample rate. I'm going to lower it to 8,000. Make this unique as a sample, yes. And then we're going to reverse. That sounds fire. I don't like the length of it necessarily, but this. I think we just need one more element for some sort of a B section. So I'm going to make pattern 1 unique and we're going to add one more scorch. Still, let's keep scrolling through the sounds. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you guys liked Scorch. If you did and you want to get it, hit the link in the description and I'll see you guys in the next one.